Let me just preface this by saying that the note has a life cycle. I like to think of it as a flower in bloom. I'm going to show you the most wonderful orchid plant I have for this. Such a beautiful orchid. And as you can see, it has just beautiful blooms to it. Such beautiful developed flowers. And also it has these wonderful buds, which are in a matter of days going to open up. And in our piano tone, we have to think of, before we start a note, it's like that bud. We don't know how it's going to blossom, but we know it's going to be great. And that when you finish and you play the note, this is what happens. It turns into a blossom. But when it's done, it has, as you go further into my orchid, you will see that there's some blossoms here which are past due, like this one, for instance. This one, it's done, it's blossom, it's on the way out. So let's take a look at the 3 stages one more time. Okay, so now we are going to do our experiment with the 3rd finger playing a simple C scale one more time, but this time I want us to imagine that every note that we hear, listen to the sound deeply and listen to the tone, and you will hear that it has its first cycle, which is that birth, then it has the blossom where it opens up, just like a Cabernet when you let it sit and you open the cork and you know the flavors start to kind of marinate together. That's what I want you to listen for. There'll be a moment in the sound that'll be like a whoosh, like a wave of just overtones, and then you'll hear it kind of dissipate, and that is the post-blossom state. So now let's hear it and see if we can hear it. So here we go. Blossom. Let's do it again. Can you hear the point where it starts to blossom and then dissipate? I'm going to point when I hear it. It's a marvelous thing when you start to listen deeply, because then you can hear that wonderful kind of expansion of sound in your note, and it's just incredible because when you put that into a piece of music, for instance, then you start to experience your piano singing in ways that it didn't before. Now, what if we don't use this form? What if we just, do the opposite? Let our arms hang any which way, heavy arms, let's say, flat fingers, and we'll just do the opposite. Let's listen to what happens to our sound. Now, I don't know about how well this is able to project through the internet to you, but there is a definite difference because that blossom in the note is not there at all. What I hear is just a kind of impact initially, and then just it just dissipates down. It just dissolves out. So it's like a hit followed by fading out. Take a listen. Let me do it with the wave method form. What's so great about the wave method is that your notes, by implementing this form all the time, your notes will have a seamless, even quality. That very frustrating quality for pianists where each of our fingers being unequal, fourth finger being so weak, the thumb for instance being so strong, it's so difficult to make them sound evenly in a passage that requires it. But if you do the wave method on each note, you see that instantly all the notes not only connect, but they're also in the same tonal family. For instance, like if you play just from the fingers, you see some stick out and some are softer than others. So this is instantly going to clarify your tones, and I don't even want to tell you what's going to happen to your whole technique because it's just going to blossom. As you go further in the method, you will learn how to play chords with incredible amounts of power. You're going to learn how to play scales with a tremendous amount of pearly, very crystal-like sound. They will be fast, they will be mesmerizing, and you will have the ability to just play with total confidence, total ease in your body, total ease in your spirit, in your mind, and just take in all these beautiful notes and all these wonderful flavors. And I'd love to hear your experiences with it. Thanks.